had a YouTube comment about why. And I personally love asking why. So when they asked why wouldn't a hyperope like a lenticularized lens, I thought, ooh, why? We can answer that. So here you go. So today we're going to talk about lens designs for hyperopia, like super high plus lenses, and why it's important to design them a certain way, and that sometimes the most aesthetic design will not necessarily be the most functional design. Now, the classic example that I give is I have glasses, and if I turn them around like this is still my prescription. But if I look around the world, everything looks funny. Even though it's my prescription. The PD's right, the lenses are my prescription, everything is theoretically right, except the curve of the lens is now, instead of it facing towards my eye, it's facing away from my eye. So the lens curves are pretty important. Now, when we make a hyperopic lens, like a super high one, like say it's a +8, +10, +12, +13, those lenses, it's tempting to say, hey, how thin can I make this lens? Now, when we make that lens super thin, we oftentimes make some compromises on curvature. So maybe a lens, so let's say it's a +13 and the steepest front curve that we can get is an 8 in a specific design. So say we want like a 174 or 167 with a polarized, and that only comes in an 8 base, and we want to get a +13. It might be tempting to make the back of the lens lenticularized, but when we do that, we're essentially designing the lens in such a way that the patient, at certain angles of gaze, those lenses act a lot like my glasses when they're turned away from me. So what's important in lens design is that your eye, for the most part, encounters a lens perpendicular. If your eye doesn't encounter a lens perpendicular, you get distortion, you get oblique astigmatism, you get unintended refractive error, to put it bluntly, is that when you look through a lens at an oblique angle, that lens is not the same prescription as it is when you look through it perpendicular. Now, we can sometimes use those features to make good things happen, but overall, this is why we do aspheric lenses, this is why we do corrected curve lenses, is so that when your eye hits a lens, when your eye's looking through a lens, it's looking through it at an angle that's appropriate for the eye.